Hey guys, a flock of seagulls here, and I'm here to talk to you today about something that I routinely see wrong in ranked and comp play, ranging all the way from your standard ranked, unranked playlist all the way up to Pro League even, and that is when you're playing a bunks and dorms defense, teams reinforcing this wall closest to big window. Now, the reason why teams used to do this in the past is because everybody was doing split takes from attic and master, and teams they wanted to play in kids without being seen from the big window. But once teams started taking from white side, what you figured out is that when you are an attacker, you can vault in here, and if that wall is closed, you can't be contested. You can walk over to this plant spot, and you have a free plant right here without being contested. Or you can hop in, you can plant right here, and the only person who can contest you is coming through a rotate right there, or anybody who's in games, but your white people should have control. Your people on white stairs should have control of that. The correct way to play this, in my opinion, is to make feet holes here and reinforce the other side. And then basically what you do is you will play a person in kids' dorms, and he can sit right here safely, and as soon as anyone jumps in, you just kill them. You'll have the advantage on them, because they'll just be jumping straight into your crosshairs, and it makes for pretty easy kills. And if you need to fall back a little bit, play a safer angle, you can fall all the way back here, and you can see all the way back into that corner, and you're pretty protected from, attic pressure, kids' window pressure, anything like that. Another thing that teams generally do, and the reason why this isn't as advantageous, is if you wanted to peek the jump in from this rotate, you have to peek it straight on, which means that anybody vaulting in just has to look straight ahead of them to contest you, which obviously gives the attackers a little bit of an advantage over you. And then the second thing is that obviously kids' window pressure. If there's anybody on kids' window, you can't peek this because you will die from kids' window. Whereas if you're sitting back here, you can peek this pretty safely and you're not exposed anywhere. So now that we've established that, the next question is, when do you want to reinforce this wall? And in my opinion, you want to reinforce this wall when you don't care if somebody jumps in. So, for example, that is when you're playing a kids dining defense. If the attackers are jumping in and they get control of the dorms, you don't necessarily care about that. What you care about is, down below, they can have control of kids. You can have control of dorms, but if they come into this room with the hatch, that's where you need to defend. So normally I would reinforce all four of these walls and play it that way. Another thing you should consider is whether or not you have security control. If you have security control, it's extremely powerful to have somebody sit right below these windows, most likely with an SMG-11, and just stare up here and wait for someone to vault in and get a free kill. Obviously, if you're playing a kids' dorms defense and the team is doing a white take, the chances of you having control of this room right here are pretty slim, especially later in the round. This would be like a good roam, but you'll eventually fall off of this, which makes this moot. So if you have control of security and you don't care about them jumping in, you want to keep your dude and kids safe, then play a guy down here, close up that window, and play it like this. Otherwise, if you're playing the top floor, open up that wall, put feet holes, and give yourself the advantage on teams trying to jump in through big window.